Alright, back again. It's been a long time. Went out with a bang with I'm Watching the Lewd Man, and I'm back again with episode 46, reviewing Azzaro Forever Wanted Elixir. This is episode 46 of Sensory Sense. It's been a long time, I know. I apologize for that. Been doing a lot of things in life. And, yeah, I realized that, my fragrance collecting was more so of an addiction than a hobby. And, yeah, I think it's that way for a lot of people, unfortunately. People with money, at least. And that was my issue, is that I was running out of it. I was spending too much on it. Which is why I stopped, It's not really reasonable to do a review every day or, like, once every week, multiple times a week, things like that. And, yeah, that unfortunately made things difficult. But anyhow, enough with the bullshit. Let's get into this. So I'm wearing this already. I got this the other day. Sorry, there's background noise. Yeah. So I went to Sephora a few times in recent times, just checking things out, testing stuff, because I don't. It's not often when you have the opportunity to smell something before you buy it, especially with lower end fragrances like things from like Latafa or Afnan or you know Armoff, because a lot of those just aren't really sold to stores unless you're going to somewhere like a place that sells cheaper ones. Um, but nothing doesn't exist in stores around here for me. But anyhow, this one, this is a 2025 release. Okay, I thought this was maybe released back in the winter, but no. I guess this is pretty fairly new. So let's see. On Fragrantica, the main accords are fruity, leather, sweet, aromatic, animalic, warm, spicy, citrus, and smoky. And this is best worn in winter and fall, second best in spring, and least of all summer. I can agree with that. Best worn at night for whatever reason. And it's commonly loved with a perfume rating of 4.33 out of 5. And let's see. For everyone to buy Elixir by Azzaro is a leather fragrance for men. Sorry. This is a new fragrance. Forever Wanted was launched in 2025. Top notes are raspberry, bergamot, and green mandarin. Middle notes are cardamom, lavender, clary sage. Base notes are leather, wolf, wood, and vetiver. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my own tongue here. And yeah, so top notes raspberry, bergamot, mandarin. Middle notes of cardamom, lavender, clary sage, and base notes of leather, wolf, wood, and vetiver. And let's see. What is the common votes here for longevity? Long-lasting 7 to 12 hours. Sillage of moderate. Radiating within arm's length. Gender male and price value of okay. I disagree with that, especially if you cannot find this on discounters, which I could not. But the moment I smelled this, I was like, even though it's becoming, even though it's spring heading into summer, like this is going to be fucking awesome on the cold days. And thankfully, this entire upcoming week is going to be in like 50s and 40s. So I think I'm going to be able to get some more wear out of this before it gets too hot out for it. But yeah, anyhow, without further ado, right now on my hand, I'm getting. I put this on a few hours ago, so I'll tell you what it smells like old compared to fresh. Right now I'm getting most of the base notes. There's a bit of cardamom still lingering in there. Um, the vetiver is very mild. The wolfwood, I don't know what that smells like. I didn't even know that was a thing. The leather is definitely there, but it's very mild. It's a very mild leather scent. Yeah, so apparently wolfwood is in the group of woods and mosses, but it doesn't say what it smells like. But yeah, I guess there's something a bit woody in there. But all the other notes, the raspberry, bergamot, green mandarin, lavender, clary sage, no, the clary sage is coming through too, but raspberry, bergamot, green mandarin, and lavender are no longer coming through after about, when did I put this on? It was right after my shower, so about 5 hours ago. Then again, it is a new bottle, so it could just be needing some maturity with the passing of time. But this bottle is also, it's the typical Azzaro wanted line bottle, but it's nice. It stands out. It's a bit too eye-catching for me, especially in a collection like what I have, but, here, I'll spray it in the air for you real quick, too, so you can see how good the atomizer is. Oh, man. Right off the bat, it is very fruity on top. They weren't fucking lying about it. It went up in my nose, my sinuses, but I don't mind it because it smells good. It just hurts. Yeah, the raspberry is definitely just slapping you across the face with its giant pink cock. And the bergamot, let's do this the right way. Just give me a second. The bergamot does kind of come through in the air, but you spray something in the air, it doesn't stick around too long when you're constantly smelling it. So let's get an improvised tester strip here. There's something almost, this is going to sound crazy, but something almost banana-ish in there. I'm not really sure what that is. It's definitely the mixture of things, but yeah, the raspberry is like at the top of the top. The bergamot is, it's there, it's present, but it definitely gets kind of stomped out by the green mandarin on the top there. But then as it dries down, you get the cardamom very, very prominently. It's I would say it's more of a sweeter cardamom. Even though it usually is sweet, it's definitely, you pick it up. The most prominent things right away to me are the raspberry, cardamom, and leather. The clary sage is coming through. It's very dusty when you're smelling it direct like that. The lavender's very mild. I would honestly like it to be a bit stronger. Same with the bergamot. Oh, yeah, that clary sage in there is dusty. Very dusty. Very. It's choking, kind of. You know what I mean? Not bad. Not when you're not burying your nose into the shit, but when you're going direct, it's rough. But yeah, the leather is there. The wolfwood, of course. Whatever the fuck that is. It's just a woody note, I guess. There's a slight woody note. The vetiver is there, but there's a musk in here that is, I don't know if it's their signature thing. I don't know if it's a DNA thing, because the only other Azzaro I own is Wanted by Night, which I'll be reviewing later on. I've got quite a few new things since the old days of my reviews. In fact, I gave a lot of my stuff away, and since then I've just slowly reacquired new things. But yeah, this one, it reminds me of, not that I've smelled it in person, but I've read the scent notes and I've smelled clones of it. But it reminds me a lot of, I think it's Tom Ford Tuscan Leather. And of course, God, sorry, there's something on my eye. Of course, the reminders in the Fragrantica page here have ombre leather at the top. But if I remember correctly, ombre leather doesn't have the fruit notes in it. That's just like pure leather. I think, yeah. It's, yeah, I don't know if that would be an accurate comparison, but having read the Tuscan Leather reviews and just the scent notes, it seems like it's very close to that. So if you want to, I wouldn't quite say affordable. You want a mid-range designer scent This one is, it's good. It's good. I just wish it came out back in like December, back when it was actually cold out. Like I would say this is made for it, but you could you know pull it off on a cold spring day, I guess you could call it this season. Um, but yeah, I've worn this a few times. I've given away a couple decants of it. The cardamom is very present. The cardamom in leather right now. The hand is like the skin scent is very mild right now. It's almost undetectable at this point. But then again, I'm probably also nose blind to it. Let me see the shirt. It just smells like a shirt. Yeah. I would say out of the box, the not projection, longevity is questionable with what those people are saying on Fragrantica. Although I did spray it the two times I went to Sephora, I like doused my jacket in it, and it did last on there. It is lasting on there for days, but directly worn, it's questionable, you know. But overall, I think I would give this one a 7.5 out of 10 right now. I will revisit this probably in the cold months later on down the line. But right now it's a 7.5 out of 10. I enjoy it. It's a very familiar scent, you know what I mean? If you've smelled any of the many clones of Tuscan leather out there, you've probably smelled this before. At least some composition of this, maybe not directly the same, of course, because, clones, but yeah. Anyhow, yeah, this has been episode 46 of Sensory Sense. Back at it again after a long hiatus, and I've got plenty to review this time around, too. Yeah. If you got the money, spend it. And if you got the taste for a fruity top, smoky-ish kind of leather thing going on, a sweet smoky leather, I would say try it. Probably right up your alley. At least go, douse yourself in it like I did at Sephora. Worth it, might as well. You don't got to pay for it to wear it, you know what I'm saying? So fuck it, be cheap. That's what I should have done. But I don't regret it. I don't regret it. It's a very standout piece in my collection. Yeah. Sorry. It's good. It is good. And it's Azzaro. A lot of Azzaro wanted line is usually pretty good, or so I've heard. Like I said, only got experience with one other that I'll be reviewing later on. Yeah. Go smell it. Just go to Sephora and smell it. You might love it, you might hate it. Me, I enjoy it thoroughly. But this is, like I said, episode 46. Azzaro Forever Wanted Elixir. Goodbye.